Isika na ronse form. Bi so ho a ye nuan ma so form preachi. Ma akota ma kolebi oda akonyamu ye de drip ahye ne mfe ye de pastor atitare so akolai ne ma mi hia sika sei o de kwakoye operation momo aye de same akola na abekọ ba bi fufuro no na mo asa de ne gina ho ona bo wa mi bisa se so akwan bia ni ho no mo a omo di sa adwuma we no mbetumi de o ma fa so se de be ya ni nyina to betwa and that's it.
Okay, so we'll take the second question from the back.
My name is Sarah Paku. I'm reporting for TV3 News. I want to find out, Honorable, you mentioned the situation of streetism becoming a worrying issue in the country. How worrying is it? You mentioned some stakeholder engagements ongoing to find a human face solution to it. Have we been able to identify the specific countries this children, especially the foreign children, are coming from, and how many of them we have in the country? I also want to find out if the ministry can give us an update on the 19 students who were sodomized in the Gonja East district of the country. Thank you.
So we'll take the third question from the back.
Good afternoon, Honorable. My name is Paul Nyojadalafu, and I report for Daily Statesman. I want to find out from the caretaker minister whether he can furnish us with the statistics of number of women in the witches camps and how many witches camps do we have across the country. What measures has he taken to get us rid of the witches camps? And also, coming to think of a LEAP program, who is qualified to be part of the LEAP program, and how is the person enrolled? Is there any political interference in it or not? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So if there is any other question, okay, we'll take the fourth question. Okay. Bring the microphone, please.
My name is Salom. I work at the Finder. Minister, it was found that 110,000 girls impregnated every year. That's teenagers, so from 13 to 18 years old. Is the ministry aware of this, and what steps are being taken to go after the men who are impregnating the children, the girls of this country? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we can take one more question and then go for Honorable Minister's responses. If there are no questions, then we will call on the Honorable Minister to give us her responses. So we will now go to the Honorable Caretaker Minister for the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection for her answers.
Thank you. The three question first. I no crap. No crap. Ubasheno, Uboha near the iodine, near the paint, Cocobiafra, near the Atataran and nine who saw and only one instance, and I say one form of deception. The binum saw truly no, a crana yare. Or yare, I didn't call hospital near the next riska. Ni and I are wrong. Last week, social welfare, monitoring. Conform two groups of people. Refer ma kolebu. Say kolebu nsha since odom bejina kwan ho na omo sirisis ka no. Wrong so bayare. Na won fa no hospital. and now you're guardian of a sick child. Now one fan hospital na de ni gina kwan egigiska wrong tie nyina no sene o mampanyin na na do danko akufo ado kan ye no o se nyina ye active citizens me enye spectators into observation no kre ena sabi omo egigiska no omo nya accountable to anybody na ne mesre ne at times so be hwe no na radio station bi TV station bi appeal eno no omo yi omo anim appeal me mpese me rate omo ma minimum appeal bi akoso 3 years time bi ano a obenya sika no a obeye obeto na ma akoma hospital no odanadi ma obi ehunu nti e bo omo no abaso obo ho a yare a ne sika no yeso onya akora bi anya cancer onya tumor ni nyina no omo appeal to us in an honest way a me gidi se no so ya se de ebetumi aboa eno wiase ba bia ye sade no ena street children no according to me catch them for sorry in my presentation I said we are using technology to get solutions to our challenges. The street children, they number 16,000. To put the countries out, I'm reluctant now because we are trying to engage their missions to see whether indeed they are from those countries. So I will not preempt that exercise by putting a list of countries out. But we know, we suspect, and we are dealing with that. Like I said, we have stakeholders that have given inputs, and we've involved a lot of people. So at the appropriate time, the solutions will be brought out, and we'll see the results that we have. The students who were sodomized, it's a very unfortunate incident. We wrote to condemn, we gave out a statement to condemn this act, and the GES, my colleague Minister for Education, also led his team to visit and then to condemn this, and I think they've taken some initial actions. What I can say is that the case is in court, and we will monitor and follow it up. The witches camps, we have the Daily Statesman, we have the list here. We have various communities that we have this witches camp phenomenon going on. In all, we have, okay, 1 minute. Per the figures here, we have 6 camps, which are in Gambaga, Patinga, Nabuli, Tindang, Nyani, and Kuku, and the total of the number of the, please come and interpret you all, because I don't want to give out the figure. These were the things that were taken out, but the actual number, they are 700 in all, which is quite a high figure. And thank you very much. And like I said, government is doing all it can. And the perpetrators are from our communities. We know them. It's very unfortunate that they normally accuse the elderly women who have served their communities well. They are mothers, our grandmothers, and our sisters, if we are old enough to consider them. This practice must stop. And about the LEAP program, nothing political. Like I said in my presentation, we have criteria that we use. We have data. The expert is here to corroborate what I'm saying. There's nothing. If you qualify as the poorest of the poor, as a vulnerable person, or a caregiver, there are people who also leave whatever they are doing in this world to care for the sick. They also are part of it. And the 110,000 impregnated girls, I don't know the source of that figure. If I could have, that figure so that we can match if we have any figure around it. Sir, what's your source? And how current it is? Is it, sorry, 2020? Thank you. Do we have the figures? You have. What figure do you have? But you don't have your source. That's what I talk about. Each of us having a source. We can then match them up with what the larger data collection brings. We should even have them for each region, each district, and communities. Because I have read in the papers that some communities have more than others, that after holidays you have so many children, 3,000 girls being impregnated. Talking about the men who do that, if the child is underage, definitely it's rape at times or defilement. If the child or the girl is of age, in the 110,000, I don't know which ones are consensual, or which ones were as a result of rape or defilement. We'll have to look at that and do the figures out of that. But it's a criminal act to defile or rape in our nation, especially when the child is below the age of consensual relationship. And the men, if I may use you as an ambassador to appeal to the men who do that to our girls to stop. It's criminal, and criminal courts normally deal with such persons. What I do not like personally is when the parents are appealed to bring the case, to take the case out of court to be settled within the communities. Invariably, the victims are shortchanged. So this is what I have to say to that. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you have a follow-up question, we'll take the last set. If not, so we have one hand at the back.
So, Minister, with respect to the boys who were sodomized, aside the legal bit which is being handled, has the ministry put in place any mechanisms to follow up on their well-being, psychological? That's basically what I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay, so the second one, Mr. Asuma.
My name is John Awuni. I represent Kesben. Mine is also more or less like a follow-up. As the minister indicated, she mentioned that about 6 witches camps are in operation right now. Savannah Institute did a research, and then they gave the ethnic allocation as to which particular ethnic group is in which particular witches camp. And we had 60% from Konkombes, 37% being Dagombes, 1% being Mamprusi, being Mobile, and then others. I want to find out, they've petitioned Parliament though. I don't want to find out if such petition has been received by your ministry as to its complete closure from these outmoded cultural practices. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Nana, will take the last question for the day and then go for Honorable Minister's
Yes, good afternoon, Honorable Minister. My name is Honorable from Daily Searchlight. If you go to places like Circle and interchanges, you see people begging. In fact, most of them, sometimes when you are passing by, they just hold your address and then they want to attack you by begging from you. I don't know what the ministry is doing about it. I don't know if it's permissible in Ghana. People just attack you for and ask for arms. And it's very nauseating and very disgusting that you are walking around and somebody just come and hold your address and say, give me money. I don't know why the country has looked on and this is growing and becoming a nuisance in society. My second question, there was I think Hula Balu about the payment of creditors of the school feeding. I don't know whether the arrears or the arrears have been cleared, and I want to know the situation of whether there are arrears or what. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So that's the last question for you. Yes, with regard to the sodomized boys, unfortunately, like I said, it's with a lot of regret that we see these things in our communities. The boys have been given counseling. Social welfare department officials have been there to visit them, and we are monitoring their well-being as well. They are even talking to the parents as well to make sure the communities, people within the communities, do not ostracize them or laugh at them like they are classmates, etc., etc. They were bold to come out, and we should appreciate them for their boldness to come out and bring this evil act out. The witches' camps, yes, I had the lists of the communities, but I intentionally left them out. The important thing is to make sure this practice is eliminated. It can be anywhere on our soil. It's not that this group of people are here and so they are prone to. No, it's an old practice, and it's defunct per se, and we need to get rid of it. The alms begging thing is a comment you made, so I'll go straight to the school feeding arrears. Yes, we have the last lot of arrears to pay. We know the figure we've put in, and it's at the controllers, so very soon we hope to get it. Thank you very much. On that note, I would like to thank the caretaker minister at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection and her powerful delegation for joining us this afternoon. Our invited guests, thanks for attending upon invitation. We hope to receive you very soon. Thank you and good afternoon.
Players in oil and gas sector were honored for their contribution to the development of the industry. The Chief Executive Officer of the Year Upstream went to Dr. Ben Asante of Ghana National Gas Company, whilst Mr. Andrews Owusu-Befi picked the award in the downstream sector. The Local Content of the Year award went to Talo Ghana Limited. The Deputy Minister of Energy, Dr. Amin Adam, called on all Africans to invest in the oil and gas business, as the continent emits only 3% of global emission of carbon dioxide. He said, since some foreign countries do not usually purchase oil and gas from Africa, the continent must see it as a wake-up call to encourage trade among themselves.
We want to reposition ourselves as a country to diversify the industry and grow the industry and create more jobs and create more work for our people. And I want to use this opportunity to invite the investors who are here to work with your partners abroad. If they cannot invest in Europe, they should come here and invest their money in building refineries and building distribution infrastructure so that they can get the highest returns of investment that they can find anywhere in the world.
Total Energies grabbed 3 awards, namely Brand and Lubricant Product of the Year, Marketing Campaign and Oil Marketing Company of the Year. In an interview with the lubricant manager of Total Energies, Mr. Henry Ajawuda said the company is committed to delivering cleaner energy solutions as contribution to the fight against global carbon emission.
We are committed in ensuring that we deliver cleaner energy solutions as an ambition in contributing to the global effort in reducing carbon emissions. So the future is very bright for Total, and the future is clean energy.
The chief executive of Zodes Communication, Mr. Richard Abbey, said the award is a platform to celebrate advances made in key areas of the environment, stewardship, efficiency and innovation, among others.
Joy heralded his pregnancy some 11 years ago to be the first child of his father and fourth but only son for his mother. But his birth cast a dark shadow on the family to forever live with the stigma, pain, neglect and accompanying financial problem. Now, the wish of a father is for God to call his son into eternity ahead of him, simply over uncertainties about the welfare of the child if he predeceases him. On the International Day of Persons Living with Disabilities, GBC's News Clara Mlano shares the story of the Koji family, a disabled father acting as a caregiver to his son, another disabled living with cerebral palsy.
Dominic Koji was told that he came from a bow-legged family. To clear his doubts that he was not living with that condition alone. Through school at the Ho Bankwe Junior High and Awudome Senior High schools, Dominic's deformity worsened, depriving him of a lively and hearty childhood as would any child. Soon to crawl into his shell as a result of unsavory comments and feeling unwelcomed from his mates. Finally, dropping out of senior high school in Form 2.
They said, oh, Dominic, what higher church? So we'll go to SS, that's our school, the Chito one. So I went there, being with them. So when I reached Form 2 to Form 3, it was like something happened. And I left the school. I left the school. It's like, human beings not good. People were not treating me well.
Out of sight, out of mind, the saying goes. Dominic relocated from the Volta region away from his familiar surroundings to the capital, Accra, in 1996 to start a new life. Unknown to him that the same fate awaited him. Shunned by all, Dominic engaged in menial jobs,